committee. As we get a quorum, we'll establish that. We have one bill that we're hearing. We have a consent calendar today. We have SB 907 by Senator Liu. It establishes the Office of Federal Funding Information and Assistance. And we were discussing an amendment, but before we get to that, Senator Liu, why don't you present on SB 907?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members. The American Recovery and Reinvestment Act, ARRA, is making $275 billion available for federal contracts, grants, and loans. An additional $435 billion or more are available every year for over 170 ongoing federal programs. Yet many of the state's local government agencies and eligible organizations do not have the resources or training to identify and apply for this money. SB 907 would establish the State Office of Federal Funding Information and Assistance, aka SOFIA, to help government and non-government organizations identify opportunities and submit winning proposals for ARRA and other federal funds. The office will track the availability of federal grants, maintain an up-to-date website portal of federal funding opportunities and technical information, operate a live telephone helpline, provide ongoing technical assistance via workshops, online seminars, and conferences, and evaluate how effective the office is in increasing the flow of federal dollars to California. SOFIA will be a proactive resource helping to build local government agency, education institutions, and nonprofit organizations' capacity for securing federal funds. Those funds California needs to serve the elderly and disabled, and for education, job training, and economic development. I ask for your support on this measure.
Okay, we were discussing, Senator Harman, I don't know if you had a chance to see the amendment that we were proposing. The proposed amendment, in effect, would say that we're not taking out of the general fund money to fund the program, so we'd have to create the money before the office actually took effect. So we ain't going into debt, we're not financing it out of something. So that would be an amendment that would mean the discussion would be then whether or not we should have an office that does what this does, as opposed to a discussion of the cost and how we're paying for it. I wanted to make sure that we shifted that element out. That would be an author's amendment as soon as we get a quorum going. Senator Liu, has there been much discussion with the administration about how they'd like to proceed, or if they perceive that this would be a...
No, I only know from my personal experience in my district that a lot of nonprofits and local government agencies come to us all the time asking for help. And since the state doesn't have resources and the federal government seems to be the folks that are passing out dollars, they keep on asking how do we access this, and what kind of help do you guys give, and things like that. And so we've had workshops in the district with our nonprofit agencies and local government agencies who come, showed a lot of interest. And this is just a matter of centralizing this information. It's all available. Every agency has its own knowledge base, but it's not shared with folks, except those folks who are used to dealing with particular agencies, especially in the human services area. So what we're trying to do is create an agency, or create an office, but not reinvent the wheel, but have folks who are already maybe in OPR do this kind of responsibility. And I agree with you. I'm wholeheartedly in support of using federal dollars to fund this office.
And I'm thinking out loud, and someone else has a question. Senator Harman, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Senator Liu, our analysis indicates that the administration, in their recent budget presentation, wants to eliminate the Office of Planning and Research, and this new organization or new bureaucracy that you're...
Office, just an office. Senator Harmon. I mean, yes, okay, excuse me, answer your
No,
question.
please go ahead.
Well, no, if OPR is eliminated, we hope to find another office that would work with this committee to find an appropriate placement for this
I see.
office.
Okay. Now, isn't this already being done by the administration and searching for federal funds and making the various different agencies as well as others informed about the availability of stimulus funds or whatever it might be? And why do we have to have this new department? Well, not a department.
Basically, it's not, the bill is not to find federal monies for state agencies. The bill is to focus, to find monies for local and regional governments. You've been on the city council. You know how difficult it is to find out what the feds are doing and how the money is distributed. So the state would serve as a pool, I mean, as a center, a clearinghouse, so to speak, so that you can go to one site, one website, and find out what is going on and get help, get technical help to go ahead and apply for these federal funds and be successful.
Can you tell me what the state is doing currently in that regard?
I think every department or every agency is collecting its own information and probably sharing it on its website. But for lots of nonprofits and local government agencies who perhaps don't have the time and the technical expertise to go shopping for these availability funds, I mean, I think it's a good responsibility for the state to accept. I mean, it's an incredible amount of dollars that are available, and I think that the state ought to be aggressive in trying to find out where these monies are and get help trying to secure them for their own purposes, for our own purposes.
You have a copy of the proposed
Yes, I do.
amendment. Let me ask you a question about the language in that amendment. It says that this new office would not be funded until the Department of Finance says that sufficient monies have been here's the words I want to focus on, to fully support the activities of the Office of Federal Funding Information. Who will decide what that trigger point is that will, some dollar amount to support this new organization? How much
office.
is that going to be?
We're not sure. We just, I'm going to take the amendment. The implication is that we don't draw down general fund dollars.
I understand that part, but...
and that it gets funded perhaps out of some administrative funds that federal dollars distributed to the state of California, as part of its largest.
Well, it says to an amount sufficient to fully support the activities. Will that mean there will be 10 new employees, 20 new employees, 100 new employees to support this office?
We did not make any statement as to the number of folks involved.
Well, that's my question. Who's going to decide that?
Well,
is this going to be a giant...
no, I don't.
I'm assuming not, but
I don't
it
assume.
just seems so vague that I'm having trouble supporting it.
Well, maybe if you would offer an amendment, we'd take a look at it in appropriations if we move forward.
Let me time out. We want to establish a quorum.
Wright.
Here.
Wright is present. Harmon.
Here.
Harmon's present. Calderon. Denham. Flores. Negrete-McLeod. Here. Negrete-McLeod present. Oropeza. Padilla.
Here.
Padilla present. Price.
Here.
Price present. Wyland. Here. Wyland present. Yee.
Okay, we have a quorum.
Mr. Chairman?
Okay, Mr. Price. Senator Price. I'm sorry, Senator Harmon.
Were you done?
Okay.
I'm sorry. Thank you, Senator. Senator, I think it's a great idea. I think you're right. We should be consolidating and better coordinating the availability of information to local governments and nonprofits especially. And your proposal, though, is to put it within the OPR. If the governor does eliminate that, where else do you think this activity should go?
I don't have, well, that was a question that Senator Harmon asked also, and I don't have an answer to that, but I'd be happy to work with the committee to find an appropriate placement for this office. I don't envision this to be anything huge. I mean, this is a coordinating body and an technical assistance body, and I'm not creating it to spend more money. I would like to use those agencies within our own state agencies to divert some of its responsibilities to perhaps be this Sophia. But short of that, I'd like to, I think there's a huge need to have this service for folks here in this states to make sure that we access all the federal dollars that we can.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I mean, and again, I mean, I don't, as like you, I don't have a great deal of answers at this point. Another option might be, depending on the level of the service and the type, that some of the local governments might chip in to find it.
Well, I think every level of government is pretty stretched today.
Right. It depend. I mean, it would depend on whether or not there was a perceived value that they got. There might be something that they might be interested in shipping into. It's hard to say, but I'm like Senator Price. I think the need is there. Just like, how do you pay for it? We've got a proposed amendment that we would accept as an author's amendment that makes clear that we're not adding a burden to the general fund with the program. Senator Harmon raised a couple of issues relative to, as did Senator Price, relative to OPR. What happens if, I mean, there are a number of unknowns that we're not going to resolve today because that information is there. Does the governor get rid of the office? We don't know. We are clear that what we're passing today will not add costs that we have not accounted for. So before us today becomes the issue of an agency that coordinates.
An office.
An office that coordinates funds, and we're, at this point, the total cost of it is unclear. So the people in finance and someone later will have to make that determination. Is there a motion from?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
It's moved by Senator Price. Senator Liu.
I simply ask for your support on this idea, and we'll work out the details.
Okay, and this will go from here to appropriations, where it will clearly need some additional work. So I don't want to say that that the final product is here. We have the
Correct.
The one amendment that we're taking here, but it's clearly going to need a little bit more shaping as it moves forward. And I think appropriations will probably more refine the cost, as well as a couple of the other issues that we've got.
And that motion will be as amended?
Yes.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes, we're making an amendment here. Okay, call the roll.
Wright?
Aye.
Wright, aye. Harmon? No. Harmon, no. Calderon? Denham? Flores? Negretti McLeod? Aye. Negretti McLeod, aye. Oropesa? Padilla? Aye. Padilla, aye. Price?
Aye.
Price, aye. Wyland? No. Wyland, no. Yee. It's currently 42, we need 6.
4-2, we need a couple of more.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much for
We will try,
listening.
and we're going to do that right now. I want to first take off consent by Senator Cedillo, SB 1090. We have some technical amendments. They're in the analysis to Senator Cedillo's bill. Without objection, we will take those amendments as author's amendments and then replace it on consent. Okay. Is there any objection to? Okay. Hearing none, we will move SB 1044, SB 1090 as amended, SB 1096. Ms. Wiggins. Is there a motion for the consent calendar? Moved by Senator Padilla. We'll call the roll.
Wright?
Aye.
Wright, aye. Harmon? Aye. Harmon, aye. Calderon? Denham? Flores? Negretti McLeod? Aye. Negretti McLeod, aye. Oropesa? Padilla? Aye. Padilla, aye. Price? Aye. Price, aye. Wyland? Aye. Wyland, aye. Yee.
Okay, that concludes the consent calendar. We'll leave the roll open. If Senator Calderon, Senator Flores, Senator Yee, we need, okay, we'll leave the roll open. I might go to, what is public safety in 3191?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That'll do it, yeah, because you've already voted. We're just going to leave it open for that one bill. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'm actually on public safety. I'm going to run there and run back myself. one bill on call. It is SB 907 by Senator Liu. The current vote is
4-2.
4-2.
Absent members Calderon, Denham, Flores, Flores, aye. Oropeza, ye.
And we have the consent calendar. Current vote is 6-0.
Absent members Calderon, Denham, Flores, Flores, aye. Oropeza, ye.
Oh, thank you, sir. One more vote. SB 909. Call the absent members.
Absent members Calderon, Denham, Oropeza. Aye. Oropeza, aye. Yee. That's 6-2.
Okay, 6-2. We'll still hold the roll open, and we've got the consent calendar that was called as well. Call the absent members.
Calderon, Denham, Oropeza. Aye. Oropeza, aye. Yee. 8-0.
8-0 on the consent calendar. Thank you much. I'm sorry. It's okay. We've got Senator Lou's bill on call, SB 909. Call the absent members.
It's currently 6-2. Absent members Calderon, Denham, Yee. Aye. Yee, aye. That's 7-2.
Okay, that bill is out. We have the consent calendar, SB 1044, SB 1090, and SB 1096. Call the absent members on the consent calendar.
It's currently 8-0. Absent members Calderon, Denham, Yee. Aye. Yee, aye. That's 9-0.
That bill is out. We're adjourned.